Well, happy Saturday, Las Vegas. It's Monique Buchanan, the local Las Vegas here, ready to assist you with all your real estate needs. I've got a great show today, you guys. I really do. But before I get into the show, I want to say, listen, I went on a vacation last week. When you guys heard that show, that was actually a rerun of a previous show, but it still applies. I got quite a few phone calls about that show, and it does still apply. It still is a very good time to buy. We can still buy down those rates and just wait for these rates to hopefully come down. And if they do, great. We can go ahead and refinance. And that will stop stop you from waiting for everybody else to jump into the pool, because all that does is drive the prices back up, right? So even if the rates come down and you guys wait for that, then everybody jumps in the pool. And then now, guess what? The home prices go right back up. So it kind of doesn't, it doesn't really make any sense because, I'm waiting for the rates to save some money, but yet I'm going to pay more on the price now that I waited. So that's something that is still going on. I actually took my family to Mexico on a cruise. It was my first time doing the 7-day cruise down to Cabo, Mazatlan, and Puerto Vallarta with my little girls, Malia and Sasha, and my husband, Henry. We had a really good time. You know me, I'm always business. I was, talking to people on the ship, of course. Got some great people that are going to reach out to me from California because I don't know if you guys know this, but like I've told you before, I have colleagues in all 50 states. So I'm getting one of the young ladies that I talked to, Jennifer. Shouts out to Jennifer from Bakersfield off the ship. I'm going to be hooking her up with a down payment assistance program out there in California to help her purchase her first home. So there's that. And then when I got to Mexico, I had a meeting with one of my colleagues down in Mexico, and he was going over an opportunity to own a beautiful beachside property, but without doing a timeshare. It was so interesting, you guys. I'm actually going to have him come on one of the shows soon to discuss that with you because, listen, the timeshares, for me, I'm not going to buy anything that I cannot pay off. There has been many incidences where I've had clients that had timeshares that actually hindered them from purchasing homes because that is a debt. And it just threw their numbers off. And it's just so hard in many cases to get rid of that timeshare. So I have come up with another way for you to own beautiful beachfront properties down in beautiful places like Mazatlan or Puerto Vallarta without having to be, bogged down or, handcuffed with a timeshare. If you own one and you like it, great. It's just that I've heard some stories and, we all know that you can never stop paying those maintenance fees. So it just becomes something that, you one day loved and maybe when you get older and now you're on a fixed income, some people, it becomes, a thorn in the side. So anyways, I have an alternative to that, and I'll be having that gentleman come on and discuss that alternative so that you guys can be in the know. And like I said, remember, I have colleagues and referral partners in all 50 states. My brokerage is in 18 countries. So yes, I have referred out to the Philippines. I have referred out to London. And I just recently closed on a property that I referred out from one of my KUNV listeners. I told him I was going to call him Mr. Florida. He called me on the way in today, you guys, and was so grateful and thankful. He was just, telling me, Monique, I'm so glad that I, went ahead and gave you the phone call because he had been hearing me, he said, for a year. And he said, Monique, I really wish I would have called the very first time I heard you talk about purchasing a second home or an investment property. He heard one of my shows about a year ago, but he did not make the move. He said he had another realtor that he was working with, but she didn't have any connections in the state that he wanted to purchase, which was Florida. So he just called me, you guys, literally less than a month ago and said, I want to purchase in Florida. I know that you have referral partners. And I said, I sure do. So I got him with my referral partner down there in Florida. Guess what, guys? He closed on that property about 3 or 4 days ago. So he's so excited. He said, Monique, you guys expedited this. You got it done in less than 30 days. You and your team, you guys were phenomenal. And I'm just beating myself up for not calling, a year ago. But I'm so thankful that I did call. I got the house. He is now an investor in Florida. I'm so happy for you, Mr. Florida, and I appreciate you trusting me and my team. All right, so there's his shout out. And let me tell you guys, the market is amazing right now. Listen, I'm closing on two brand new Richmond homes, with my KUNV listeners. I'm going to actually leave here from this radio station and go meet one of my listeners, Miss Linda. She's closing on a Richmond home. We're going to do our final walkthrough. So I'm going to go meet her. Congratulations, Miss Linda. She called me a couple months ago and I got her into a property, brand new build construction that only was about 2 months or 3 months out from being ready. So she's getting her keys and will be moving into her brand new home. So congratulations, Linda. Now, Miss Twyla, I'm also got her the same thing in the same property, although we went into contract about 9 months ago because she built from the ground up, where Miss Linda, I was able to get her what we call a quick move-in. I told you that a lot of the builders will call me whenever they have a buyer fall out. And now that property is considered a quick move-in, where they had already started to build the property. And now it's available for a 30-day move-in, as little as a 30-day move-in, or sometimes like Miss Linda, 2 to 3 months instead of waiting the full 9 months like Miss Twyla did. But Miss Twyla is getting keys the same day as Miss Linda. So congratulations. This is Monique Buchanan, 702-984-3700, 702-984-3700. This is the Welcome Home with Monique show. You can find this on YouTube as well, Welcome Home with Monique, or IG Realtor Monique Buchanan. All right, guys. So congratulations to Miss Linda, Twyla, Mr. Florida. Listen, we're still going, you guys. I've got, a lot of folks. I've got 3 KUMV listeners just recently approved, and we will be going out to look at properties next week. So I'm so excited for you guys as well. I've got quite a few sellers that have come to me and will be listing their properties within the next couple of weeks. They're doing a couple renovations on one of the properties. He said he wants to go ahead and do reno. I told him, listen, the biggest bang for your buck is to renovate the kitchen, those bathrooms, and if you can still, throw a couple dollars at it, the floors, of course. Those are the things that really attract the buyer, and we can get that, back when we sell the property. Go ahead and sell it for much more with those renovations. So he said, okay, Monique, I'm going to take your advice. I'm going to go ahead and work on those things. And we are looking to list that property the middle of June. So look out for that listing. And we've got a couple more listings that have reached out to me. I'll be going over to their properties to view the property and give them what's known as a comp, and give them an idea of what we can list the property at, for fair market value. So anyways, guys, things are moving and shaking in Las Vegas. All right. It's still an amazing time to buy. I closed on a couple homes a week or two ago. Shots out to Miss Kelly and Mr. John. They closed on their property. We got them a 5.25 rate. We also we're closing on Miss Lydia. Miss Lydia called me about 30 days ago as well. She just moved from California, and we are going to be closing on her property on the 1st. Now, listen, she heard the show where I talked about how you always skip a payment whenever you buy a brand new home. So you always are going to skip a payment. And I was talking about that in case there's some of you out there that are thinking, I'm in a lease, and I don't want to break my lease. Well, mind you, most property managers will typically work with you if you are in a lease. Okay, they'll say, hey, listen, you owe 3 more months or 4 more months. We'll work with you, make payments towards what you owe. Or in many cases, they'll say, hey, just pay us 1 extra month's rent and we'll go ahead and let you out the lease. You just have to have that conversation with the property manager and let them know that you're thinking about buying a home. Now, if they don't, you can do like Miss Lydia. She said, Monique, my lease is up in August. I said, okay, let's talk to the lender. So me and the lender, we facilitated it where when I wrote offers, we made sure that she would close in a manner where she will skip 2 months payments. So that's why she's going to close on the 1st of June. She will not have her first payment until August, you guys. That is amazing. So she has 2 months to slowly move into her home, to get her home painted, whatever she wants to do with her home. She has 2 months to go ahead and facilitate that. and not feel stressed out about the move. And so she will not have her first payment until August on a brand new home. So congratulations, Miss Lydia. She's also getting an amazing rate at the 5.75 interest rate. So I'm so happy for her as well. If you're asking, how are you getting these rates, Monique? How are you getting your clients these low rates? Well, we have programs in place. My lenders are very versed in the programs that are out there to buy down your rate. There's ways that we can do that. We can have the seller contribute to buying down your rate. Okay, so there are ways to get this done even in this market. So I really appreciate all my KUMB listeners that send me referrals. And hey, they're coming through. We're getting them approved. We're getting them homes, and in many cases, less than 30 days, you guys. If that's something that appeals to my buyer and my seller, we get it done. Me and my team, we get it done. 702-984-3700. 702-984-3700. Welcome Home with Monique is my show here on KUMB, and you can find this content on YouTube as well. Welcome Home with Monique. My website is www.welcomehomewithmonique.com. So it's very simple, very easy. I always mention my phone number at the end of every show as well. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about the navigating of the home buying process, okay? So I have people out there listening, they just don't know what that looks like. So I kind of want to just go over the essential steps of becoming a homeowner. Now, the first thing that you always are going to need to do is what? Get the money, right? We have to get the money. So we have to talk to one of my lenders. My lenders are very versed in, like I said, all the programs that are out there. They are problem solvers, you guys. So if you have an issue that has been holding you back, you don't quite know if it's going to stop you from owning a home. You know, maybe it's, hey, I haven't filed my taxes in 2 years. Can I own a home? Can I get a loan? Guess what? Yes, you can. There's ways to do it, and my lenders will give you the steps. It's very quick. Won't take but even a month maybe or less to get you going so that you can purchase a home. So there's many different things that, you know, make buyers wonder if they can purchase a home. But the easiest way to find out is to get with one of my lenders and let them have a 5-minute conversation with you and go ahead and get you approved or give you a roadmap. Hey, I just need you to do these following things the next 30 days. We'll get you an approval, you know, or a lot of times people are shocked. Like, wait a minute, I thought that was a definite no, but yet it was a yes, you can. And this is how we'll do it. So we definitely have to get that loan approval. All right. So, and here's the thing, when you get approved, your loan typically, or your approval, will typically last about 3 months, just depending on the lender. So that gives us 3 months to find a property. And guess what? If it expires, it's not a big deal. All you'll have to do is send over updated documentation like your paycheck stubs and things like that, just to make sure that nothing's really changed, okay? The payment information is going to come from the lender, okay? So all things money come from the lender. They're going to go over the interest rate with you. They're going to talk about buying down the rate if that's something that, you know, appeals to you, how they can do that, what that will look like, what your payment will look like if they buy down the rate, okay? So they'll go over everything money, timelines, just like with the whole skipping of the payments. That will be the lender that will talk to you about that, okay? And go over all that with you. They will tackle any challenges that you may have and just kind of give you a roadmap, okay? Okay, so then when they give us the approval, they will send it over to me, your realtor. I will represent you as the realtor. 2 different things. Lender handles all money. They basically give us the green light and give us, you know, the credit card, if you will, to go ahead and shop for a home. So what they do is they give me all the guidelines that I need to know as your realtor. They'll say, you know what, Monique, I need you to, you know, maybe give this particular person 45 days out closing because I need to tackle a couple of things in the process. So they'll give me the guideline of what I need to do when I write up that contract, okay? So they'll give me all the specifics that I need to know as far as writing up your contract and getting the deal done quickly. If we're able to close in 2 weeks, they'll say, hey, you know what? I have everything I need from this buyer. we can close this deal in 2 weeks. That is very strong. So when I write my offers up, I'm able to call the listing agent and say, listen, this is a slam dunk. Give my client this home because we'll have it closed in 2 weeks. You guys, in this market, I have been getting homes accepted left and right because I have the ability to do that. I work with lenders that get the job done. I work with lenders that listing agents are in the know of. They know when that approval comes across their computer, they see the name of my lender and they say, oh my goodness, I know this lender. He's phenomenal. I don't know these other lenders. So Mr. Seller, I think we should go with Monique's team because I do know that this lender gets the job done. That really, really matters in the market, you guys, in any market, okay? Because no seller wants to have their home off the market for an amount of time and not get it sold because that costs the seller money, and it's just not a good deal, right? So anyways, he'll send me over the approval letter. We'll get out there. We'll start looking. I will help you to make an informed decision and navigate, the complexities of buying a home. There's things that's going to pop up, but you can sit back while I handle those issues. Okay. That's what I do as your realtor. I make that process as smooth as possible for you. Okay. We'll talk about listings. I know many of you guys are on Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com. I love those. Hey, I love those platforms as well. But I'll let you know that a lot of those platforms, they're what we call third-party platforms. In other words, as realtors, we have access to the first party, which is the MLS, okay? And what that is it's a platform that all realtors post all the listings on. When I have a listing, I post it on there. And Zillow and all those third parties, they pool from there. But here's the difference. I have to warn a lot of my clients. I say, listen, you can go on there and look, no problem, but just be aware. Many of those listings, in many cases, are outdated because here's the reason. As a realtor and a realtor of the Association of the Las Vegas Realtors, we are fined. Yes, fined. Charged, I believe it's $200 if we do not update the fact that we have put our property, our listing, in contract. So whenever I accept a contract on one of my listings, I must pretty much immediately, I've got 2 days, but I must immediately go on to the listing, the MLS, and update that I have accepted a contract, or I will be fined by my association, okay? That does not happen as far as Zillow, Trulia, and all the third-party websites that you guys love to, look at. So in many cases, you'll be looking at a property and think to yourself, oh my goodness, this is beautiful, but guess what? That property sold 3 months ago. Because you know what? I'm not obligated to tell the third parties that, hey, by the way, I've already accepted a contract on that. So eventually, most of them are pretty good at staying up to date, but sometimes you will run into that. So just be aware of that. And here's another thing I want to talk to you about. When you're looking at those websites and you see the estimated mortgage, try not to get too excited. And this is why I'm telling you this, because they're basically going off of a darn near perfect credit score, and they're assuming that you're putting 20% down. So when you see that mortgage on a $400,000 house and it says, oh, your estimated mortgage will be $1,600, just know that that's, depending on your situation, maybe you do have an 800 credit score and you do have 20% down, then great. You can go ahead and take a look at that mortgage and, and run with it if you like. But if that's not the case for you, just understand that the lender, my team lender, will give you the real idea, the exact numbers or as close as they can be to what that payment will actually look like for you in your situation. 702-984-3700. That's my phone number. You can call me at 702-984-3700. My website is www.welcomehomewithmonique.com, and I am on YouTube. All of my previous shows are uploaded there, as well as on Spotify, Apple, and all of the other podcast platforms, okay? So I am available. You can find me. Google me. No, but I really do appreciate you guys tuning in, sharing this information with your loved ones. Anyone that you hear that needs to purchase a home or is thinking about selling a property, I do appreciate the fact that you guys don't hesitate to refer your family, Monique Buchanan from KUNV. So I really appreciate that. Okay, so let's jump back into it. We find a home. You say, Monique, this is the one. Okay? So what we're going to do then is we're going to say, hey, let's put an offer in, okay? don't be scared to put an offer in. The reason I say that is because I always write a 10-day due diligence period, 10 or 7, just depending on if I have competition. Because if I have competition, I want your offer to shine as much as possible. So I'll make it 7, but it's not a big deal. What does that mean, Monique, due diligence period? That means that you can back out of this deal for any reason within that time frame. So that's when we're going to get our inspection done. Okay, we want to make sure to get the inspector in there, order him right away after our offer is accepted. All right, because I know I'm going to get your offer accepted. So then I'll tell you, hey, our offer was accepted. Congratulations. Now I need you to go ahead and order your inspection. That's typically about $350, depending on if it's a house. If it's a house, around $350 to $400. If it is a condo, a little bit less, probably around $275. So I always tell my buyers and clients to think of the home inspector as the mechanic of your car. He's going to look over the entire home, right? He's not going to dig deep, you guys. Now, if you have an issue that needs, further looking into, you're definitely going to want to call. Like, for instance, if you see something that the inspector says, hey, he will say, I want you to, on the report, have a professional further look into this. So if there is like maybe a plumbing issue, the inspector will put it on the report. Hey, here's a plumbing issue. From what I can see, there's nothing really to worry about. But, there may be something that I can't see. So I would suggest that you have a plumber come out and look. And we can do that. If it concerns you, he'll give you an idea, let you know, hey, this is what it could be. Then you say, okay, let's get a plumber out there now and take a look. But he does go over the entire home, okay? Takes about 2 hours. You're welcome to go if you like. And he'll go over everything that he has found with you. Then you'll tell me, Monique, these are the things that I think we need to ask the seller to remedy. And I will simply send over what's called a repairs request form. We will ask the seller, please fix the following items. The seller will say one of 3 things. Yes, I will go ahead and, fix these following items. Or, hey, I'll throw you a couple dollars to fix it yourself at the close of escrow. When we close and I give you the keys, you can go ahead and hire the people and have them fix it. Or he'll say, no, I already gave you, because of your wonderful realtor that negotiated the heck out of this contract. I already gave you $12,000 towards closing costs. So, hey, I feel like I've given you enough. I'm not going to fix anything else. You can, use some of the savings that I just gave you from, paying your closing costs and fix it yourself. So basically what it boils down to, yes, I'll fix it. I'll give you some money towards fixing it. Or no, I'm not going to fix it. Hey, it's your house now. Take it or leave it kind of thing. So that's what's going to happen. We'll negotiate that, and then we will move forward. The next thing that we will do, and keep in mind, you will also have a home warranty with every contract, you guys. I want my buyers to have peace of mind. I always ask that the seller pays for a home warranty. I don't know if you guys have heard the shows that I've had regarding the home warranties. Now, they're not the same as insurance. Homeowners insurance is for things like, God forbid, the home, catches fire. Then that's when your homeowner's insurance will kick in. Homeowners warranties will just think of those like your car warranty, an extended warranty. They basically and typically cover the major components of a home, okay? So they'll cover your air conditioning units, your electrical, plumbing issues, and each one will also offer in like an a la carte, whether you can add your appliances on there. So it just depends on what you select. But yes, you have a home warranty in place to put your mind at ease so you don't feel like you're going to be, running around fixing things constantly. Typically, when they come out, it costs about $70, and they'll go ahead and fix or repair whatever it is that is covered on your home warranty, okay? So keep that in mind. So, if, there it is. So now we'll move on. We negotiated the repairs. The seller said, sure, I'll go ahead and take care of these following items. And then the things that I think are normal wear and tear, I won't take care of those. But the things that I feel are safety issues or, I think that I can go ahead and have my handyman come out and take care of those things. Great. We're moving forward. The next thing that we'll have is the lender will order an appraiser. Okay, this could be an amazing thing. The appraiser is going to come out. Let's say that we purchased the property. We put our offer in for $400,000. The appraiser comes out. He looks at the property and says, you know what? I know that you guys put in an offer for $400,000, but, and by the way, this just happened 2 days ago for one of my clients. But you know what? it's going to be $5,000 less in my eyes. I think this property is only worth $395. Well, guess what? I'm going to go to the seller and say, Mr. Seller, $395 is the best we can do. As we all know, the banks will not lend more than it appraises for. So now I'm going to negotiate getting you that property for $5,000 less, and in this scenario, I got him to pay your closing costs of $12,000. So this is great. And by the way, one of my clients that I mentioned earlier, this is literally her situation. So I just got all this for my client just recently. So this is an actual thing that I'm doing right now. So moving forward, he agrees. Great. Now you just got all this money in closing costs. You've gotten $5,000 off the home. You're moving forward. We are closing on that property within 30 days or less. So now all we have to do is make sure we get paperwork over to the lender. Typically that means updating any paycheck, issues. And we always want to make sure that we maintain those same hours while we're working within that 30-day window, Any little thing that he needs, we just want to get it to him. And then we're just waiting for the lender to go ahead and get the home funded. And that's what happens, guys. Is, a lot of my buyers are always blown away by just how quickly this happens, that I'm giving them keys, and how, easy it happens. They're always, I can't believe I'm getting these keys today, Monique. Yes, you are. So listen, like I mentioned before, I have many buyers in the pipeline, me and my team. So next thing we need to do is continue to get these sellers, Sellers, listen, as your KUNB realtor, I have a one-of-a-kind marketing strategy that not many other realtors in the city can claim that they have. And you know what that is? I have this platform. I have the ability to showcase your listing to the entire Las Vegas Valley on a weekly basis. That is very powerful. All right. And by the way, I just closed on one of my listings about a week and a half ago, right before I jumped on the cruise. We were able to get $10,000 over list. Yes. So yes, listen, I talked about his listing over and over again and it paid off. So listen, if you decide to list with me, your property will get maximum exposure. It will reach a large pool of potential buyers through the power of KUNB 91.5, Jazz, and more. So I am so thankful for this platform, and I'm thankful that I can share it with my KUNB sellers that are thinking of listing their properties. All right. So, and remember, I do have a great number of buyers in my pipeline who are eagerly waiting to make a purchase. So it might even be beneficial for you in that aspect that, hey, if I already have a buyer for you, great, we can save you some money on that end since I already have the buyer right there ready to purchase. Listen, I hope that you guys enjoyed the show. I'm always here for your questions. You can reach me at 702-984-3700, 702-984-3700. WelcomeHomeWithMonique.com is my website. You can reach me also or listen to me also on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you get your podcast. I do have podcasts as well. Welcome Home with Monique. I love you guys. There's nothing you can do about it. And I thank you for listening. And I look forward to you coming back on and listening again next week. All right. God bless.